Hello, 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 and welcome to this very crowded pair of tables where I am joined by, well, first of all, I'm Dane Hennen, but I'm also joined by Sydney, we've got Renny, we've got Keith, and of course, you know, Levi and Anthony all
What's
here
up?
at the table. It's a crowd today,
a
real crowd, but
very big crowd, Dane.
They say
busy
three's a
podcast.
company and
Six is more.
So
more, yeah.
I think it's safe to say, because the gang's here, we're doing some stuff this week, and yeah, I thought we'd just have some fun, but have them on the podcast too. Why not, right?
Yeah, well, and as you guys know, this is the main show, so we get a little bit of a live chat. We don't have to answer every question that comes through.
Right, it's
but
not a Q&A.
It's fun to see some of the questions. People like to listen, kind of join in, but
Yeah.
mostly this is this episode is usually just us hanging out, talking about our weekends and seeing what we got planned for the week and what we want to do.
Yeah.
So the first things first, a little housekeeping.
All right, do it.
UK cut.
Oh.
Yeah.
We
not
are
going great.
not really
Some of us are
doing
doing
much.
it. Some of us are.
So we had high hopes to really,
Improve our
become
weight loss
svelte,
gains. But
titans of
yeah.
Detailing.
It's kind of going the opposite way,
Yeah.
and I don't even know how.
Well, I will say we probably didn't plan it out the best way.
Yeah.
We have had some wonderful dinners with
Lunches.
lots of folks that seem to have affected us very many times, as well as
I
ourselves.
think it's the amount of meals that we had in a row that were just absolutely horrible for our bodies.
Yeah. We had the boys from G-Technic here last week, and Eric is notorious for stopping off a big city and getting those 5-pound scones
Yeah.
and bringing them in.
He
and
brings
that's
like
something
10 of them, so we each get a 5-pound scone.
Yeah, and he did that 2 months in a row, because we're now on week 6. So we had 2 of
Yeah.
those, and then on top of that, we had Fat Tuesday, and Nick, our very own producer, brought us some sort of donut baked in lard or fried in lard.
What's that
Because, you know, a
Oh,
donut's not
something.
fattening
Called a
enough on its
Patsky.
own.
Patsky? I think that's
Patsky?
just the box set.
Basically a jelly donut that's
Yeah.
Punch key. Okay.
So we had those, so that wasn't good.
Yeah.
And then of course,
It's got punch right in the name.
yeah, right, exactly. You know,
So let's just say we haven't been on the right track, and then right when we think, okay, we're going to start making some progress, right? Maybe we're a salad here. That's when we get so behind on time and schedule. We say, hey, we don't have time
get
for
some Jimmy
lunch today.
John's.
Let's order in some Jimmy
Yeah.
John's and some Domino's.
so just so that everybody,
Not
I'm
good.
trying to, the camera's not on. There we go. So that way, in case you guys missed it on the live, this is kind of where we're at. We're not doing too hot.
yeah,
I feel pretty good. I mean, I lost 2 pounds from last week.
yeah.
Dane's gained 2.
Anthony, you're
Anthony,
down 1. Good job.
Anthony, you're down
no, I'm
1 at
technically
least.
up
Over,
one
you're up
from
1 overall.
starting, but
But Nick and Gabe are really, the guys that are off camera. They're the
Yeah.
ones doing the hard work.
Yeah.
They're the ones actually losing weight. Where I think I'm gonna have to start going on a walk with Nick every day.
Yeah,
I think that's
that
gonna
lunch
have to be-
walk. That's a good
I think
idea.
maybe we'll all have to go, and Nick will be like, "I didn't want to go on a walk with you guys,
yeah,
but
yeah.
this was."
I wanted some time alone.
I don't wanna
actually, that's
hang out.
fine.
Oh, God.
But
there's
maybe
more
we
of
all
you.
go our separate ways and do our own walks. We'll just go to the junkyard.
Yeah, something like that. So other housekeeping things is that I'd say here in the next upcoming weeks, we're looking forward to detailing kickoff, which is basically the start of detailing season.
Yeah.
Technically, it's still very cold out and half the country is iced over, but it's promising, right? The month
Yeah.
of March, we're looking forward to possibly, breaking out some foam cannons, right? Maybe
Oh.
getting out there outside.
Just
Around
putting it in the
Idaho,
air.
we're usually hitting 50 degrees in March, maybe.
Yeah. Well, this weekend
whole
wasn't
50,
bad.
hopefully.
This weekend
Okay.
was close.
A little windy.
I detailed this weekend, and I was able to wash outside. I mean,
Yeah.
now that the MOSHQ has hot and cold running water inside of it,
Wow.
Luxury.
How much extra was that?
it came with the house.
Wow.
Apparently, I just found it. I've been in the house for 2 years, and I just found those taps.
It just goes to show
Very
that
excited to
they
use
just don't
them.
make houses like that
They
anymore.
don't. That was the house from the 80s for some reason. I think it was just I thought they were just unused taps from when they did the remodel.
Yeah.
On the house, and then I just turned them on one day, and I was like, oh gosh, that's actual water coming out of there. I better make sure. But hook a hose bib up to it, and everything works just fine. So,
Yeah.
because of that, have that capability to wash, shoot a foam cannon. It's fun for the neighbors. They like to see it. They like to. I kind of feel like I'm
Mine
providing
next,
a
right?
service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
next.
that's the
Yeah.
mantra of the neighbors. Mine
right.
next.
Yeah.
But-
But anyway, getting back on track. So we have detailing kickoff season coming up. You can probably expect some type of sale, maybe, to eventually happen here within the upcoming weeks. There is one particular sale. I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm really looking forward to it. Let's just say, if you're feeling lucky around, March 17th, right? And you
Ready
might
to catch a leprechaun.
Yeah, you might want to just check out the website, right? There might be something, lucky that you might be able to pick up. So, but other than that, though, I think this week we have a busy week. We have a lot planned, a lot of video shoots, a lot of cool, surprising, possibly new products that we might
that's
be
why
dipping
these guys
into.
are here.
Yeah,
Because we're kind of doing that. We're on a secret mission.
Can't talk too much about it. It is a secret
Can't talk
mission.
about it yet.
And in the back, there's a car over here with a ghillie suit in the back.
I know.
And like literally,
Didn't
there's.
even-
I'm like, what are you guys doing after that? There's all this rope and there's handcuffs and all this stuff. What's going on?
Renny said they're the tools of his trade. You just said he had to bring them.
Yo, well, I was expecting a lot of, skinny dudes, but it didn't happen. So
You just got some fat ones.
He's
That's
like,
all right.
that trunk.
I was really happy
That
because I
trunk's
was
only
like,
a one-body trunk, and if you guys would have lost some weight, I could have fit two of you.
yeah,
back
I was
there.
like, shit, man. I was feeling guilty. I told Diane, I said, these guys are doing this weight challenge thing, and I'm not taking it off that fast, and you guys maybe feel a lot better. So
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
don't
what we're
feel
here
bad.
for.
Yeah. So anyway, well, I think what we should do, right, as as our honorary thing that we do here, we talk about our weekends, but I think we should start with everybody but the trio today.
Good
So,
idea.
Oh, okay.
who do you want to jump into first?
I don't know.
Who had the most interesting
Yeah, what'd you
weekend
guys-
out of you three?
You've
To be
been traveling.
truthful, It was a total road trip weekend
Yeah.
for the three of us.
Okay.
Okay, tell us more.
We did everything we could to get every vehicle we had as dirty as possible.
Yeah.
So you went to
I went
Utah.
to Salt Lake, yeah.
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 And then Renny
we
drove
hosted a
up.
training last week. It's been snowing in Big Bear. The swirl salt truck's trashed, and then we drove it 800 miles from Southern California to Idaho yesterday.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good road trip.
After a 75-hour work week and a very hectic Saturday getting the students back down to the airport,
Yeah.
I came home and Diane's like, "Hey, do you want to go to Vegas tonight and like stop in Vegas?" And I was like, "I want to go die tonight."
Hopping, a skip, and a
Did
jump.
you did you drive all the way through Nevada then? How'd you come up? You came through.
We came
Idaho?
up through 93,
Nice.
man.
and our 16-year-old daughter slept from the time we left Big Bear until we got to just outside of Boise,
Okay.
and I hate her.
Go.
Yeah.
Thank
that's
God
a-
that drive.
a drive.
That drive flays me. I can't stand it, man. Whenever I have to make that drive, I'm like, because you go through Winnemucca on 93, right? The things you're looking forward to on that drive, you'd be like, I'm usually would never look forward to something like this, but I'm really excited to get into Winnemucca. And then the next town, there's that one town. It's right inside of Oregon, right before you cross into before you cross into the Idaho border. It has a name. It's super small. You have to go through it. You take it's like Jordan Valley.
Oh, okay.
The worst.
Jordan Valley's where my family's from, Anthony.
No, it's not where your family's
Did you
from.
notice? You noticed
so what-
the other day. You noticed
Jordan
said
Valley is home of what? Which
Banjos,
a lot of cattle ranches.
No.
playing banjos.
the Mustangs
Yeah.
is their high school team
Yeah,
there.
I don't know if you saw. You said, "Oh, you got some hieroglyphs up there on your desk." Those are all the family brands over the last
Oh, wow.
150 years of Jordan Valley and Malheur County ranching.
Yeah, so it's missing one. So when I think I was 21, I was passing through Jordan Valley. I was on a road trip with my friends. We were going to see a concert down in California. And we had to stop in Jordan Valley. It's the first time I've ever stopped with my friends on our own time, so we kind of had some time just to kind of go, hang out. I go into the bathroom there. There's a little Chevron or a Shell or whatever it was.
They have two of them. They have a Chevron and a Texaco. Those are also the hotels.
Yeah, there's a hotel right
Jordan
next to
Valley.
it. So I walk in there, and I'm walking in the bathroom, and it's kind of dark in there, and I'm kind of, I'm looking in the mirror. I start kind of looking around inside there, and I'm like, man, there's all these weird symbols on the walls. What's going on, right? Everything's kind of backwards. And I look, swastikas everywhere inside that bathroom.
What that is those are Basque sun wheels. That's what you're seeing. They look exactly like it.
Yeah,
those are Basque
no,
sun wheels.
no.
It's the symbol of the Basque people.
Yeah, no,
Our friends at IK.
No,
know
I
that very
don't,
well.
don't think so. Yeah, it's definitely swastikas. So I was like, yeah. And I told my friend, he's like, we should probably get out of here. I'm like, I think so.
Not, those are Basque sun
That's
wheels.
usually your sign that you should get back
Wow.
in the car and move to
The
next
symbol of the Basque people, and
Yeah. Anyway,
their
okay. So,
strength.
is there any highlights? Do you guys have anything positive or fun that happened during the drive or travels?
I'll tell you, is being family, it was cool. Diane came off, we came off we had 4 amazing students this last week. but we don't get to catch up too much. And it was really cool just to sit with my wife and, for the most part, watch her sleep.
Yeah.
But just to talk with her and just have conversation, and we really didn't talk business. We just talked about cars we wanted and properties and just kind of caught up,
Yeah.
you know? So I would say that it sounds boring, but it was a nice catch up.
Well, when you're always doing business together and everything's one event to the next or one plan
Yeah.
to the next, right? It's having a good separation between family conversations and business. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I
So
agree.
I went and live streamed a volleyball tournament.
Your first
And-
production.
Yeah. And so drove 6.5 hours, and I have a 15-year-old. She slept the entire way from Boise to Salt Lake. And before I had said, hey, do we want to see if somebody else on the team wants to carpool with us? And she goes, no, because, this is just a girls' trip. We can talk the whole way. She slept the entire way.
Oh, yeah, left you
And I
hanging.
was like, ugh. Anyway, so then I literally, those things you do box jumps on?
Yeah.
I stood on one of those for like 12 hours in 2 days. I'm surprised I'm here. I thought it was like some sort of Olympics game.
Yeah.
I mean, to stand on that thing gets smaller and smaller, and you get dizzier and dizzier.
It's like you're on the show Survivor.
Yeah, yeah. And I had to have a mask on the whole time.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I did like.
It's like a show survivor. If
stand
you
on
make
this
it
box.
past today, you get to eat tomorrow.
You're gonna get voted off the
No,
island.
you stay
It was
there.
crazy. So
Stay there.
I think I was up on that box. It was about 15 hours, and we literally drove, went to the gym, went to sleep, went back to the gym for 12 hours, got back in the car and drove home. It was crazy.
Cool.
But my daughter did stay awake the whole way home, and then I was like, wow, because talking to a 15-year-old, which I'm gonna have to hook up with Renny on the whole daughter thing later.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
is it
We're at
just
that
me
age
or
where
do
the
like
conversation?
you guys are
I
like
had a vacation
the
last week.
Dixon Mafia?
What?
Been like
You know?
try to do.
Well,
Wow, look at that! I haven't
Yeah.
seen
My
this.
Dixon is not currently on right now.
Anthony has his. He's just sitting at his
the
desk.
dry,
New
the
one?
dry
I haven't
cleaners.
seen it.
Yeah, so these, in case you're wondering, these are our Dixon Outlaws.
Wow.
They're solid black, and we took them down, had our friends at Deadwood Designs embroider
Not
our
an
logo
official
on 'em.
collab.
Those are
No.
cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
not
they
true
should
Dixon
sell
I
collab.
like that.
Just
Yeah.
we did it. We got a number of us that went in on it. Black Friday they were selling them. It was a Black Friday special, so there's about 8 of us that jumped on it, bought some, and then took them all down, had them embroidered. So even
Pop the
Jimmy
logo
got one.
on
It
it.
was his first Dixon.
Oh, he loves that thing
Yeah.
too.
Awesome.
So, but
Yeah.
Nick and
Oh, that's
Nick
nice.
and Gabe jumped in on it. John, who else? A couple of the guys up in the warehouse did.
Good chunk of the
So,
team, yeah.
Sometimes we get together and walk down dark alleys just to
It
kind of
looks
make a
really cool.
presence.
We look,
Just
it-
looks intimidating.
People really
you
know we're there to sell them detailing supplies. when
Yeah,
we do that.
yeah. Hey, come back! Stop running away!
We
Come
want to
back
show you
here.
how this quick detailer works. It's called paint loss.
Yeah. We'll have Dane chase him down. Like, stop running! We just want to sell you some good stuff, man.
70/30 premium blend microfiber.
Come back.
Feel it. It's
Why are you so
soft.
afraid?
Let me wipe it on your face.
Yeah. So Keith, explain. So you had a pretty relaxed weekend compared to everybody
Well,
else.
I guess I did. So it
Yeah.
started out with the terror of a snowstorm in Portland, Oregon, which is, it's like getting 4 feet here,
Yeah.
getting 4 inches in Portland. So I left the house Monday at 4 with a foot of snow in my pickup bed so I'd have traction.
Yeah.
Once I dodged the tree that fell outside my house that I didn't know about until I was driving away, got to the airport after dodging the fire trucks that got stuck in the snow. Then I went down and spent the week with our great distributor, PC Enterprises in Arizona. We had a class Saturday, got back on the plane Saturday evening, got home about 11 o'clock Saturday night. So I said I was going to take a short break. I did.
Short.
Got back in the truck at
Yeah, you were
noon
home for about
yesterday
12
and
hours,
Drove
I
here.
think.
So yeah, that was kind of my day was kind of easier compared to these guys. But
How was the drive? Because there was a storm through the Blue Mountains this weekend.
Yeah.
dude, the pavement was dry all the way. It was actually looked worse in the gorge between Portland and Hood River than it did anywhere else. I mean,
Yeah.
the Blues had snow on the hills, but there was nothing on the road.
Yeah,
So it was a great
Saturday,
drive
I
over.
think all day, like Friday night, all day Saturday, up until like mid, they had closed the road from LeGrand
Yeah,
to
they actually
Pendleton.
closed it Thursday night.
Yeah, and I just hedged my bet because all the snow had melted out of the pickup bed
Yeah.
by the time I got on the road yesterday. So I threw the snow shovel in the back.
Yeah,
In case
just in
I
case.
needed traction, I could just stop on the side of the road and collect some traction, put some
Yeah.
weight back there. So
Yeah.
that was my hedge, but dude, it was a great drive
Nice,
over.
good.
A lot of alone time,
Yeah.
which it can be good. You get a little meditation. So it was kind of like driving with a 15-year-old
Yeah.
that slept the
Yeah.
whole way. Really kind of the same thing, except no bathroom breaks. Just got in there and hammered
on
it all the way
trucking.
out here.
Nice.
So,
Well, sweet.
but we got dirty truck, we got a dirty car, got another dirty truck that's sort of broken, we think.
Yeah. We might have broke a shock or two on the way up. That was interesting. We're not sure. All of a
Duct tape.
sudden,
Take
Duct
that
tape.
thing back together, right?
Some baling twine.
JB weld, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I took it up to 80, it stabilized, and I said, we'll be okay.
Just stay going 80.
That's exactly it. It was smooth, and I couldn't hear the knocking anymore. So
Yeah, so it was perfect. So, yeah, that was. So we might have a little cleaning to do today, but
we're gonna make this trip interesting, though. Not just being with you guys, but we leave here tomorrow and head up to McCall. We're gonna ski Brundage on Wednesday, Tamarack on Thursday.
There you go.
Very nice.
Friday's a travel day. Go to Sun Valley, ski Sun Valley Saturday, Sunday, head home Monday.
There you go. So make a
We'll
little
get
break.
some vertical in while we're here.
Busy having
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell
That'll
yeah.
be cool.
Heck yeah, man. Well, Levi, what did you do this weekend?
Well, I was going to ask you, but I guess I can go. So this weekend, thankfully, it was warm enough. It was nice enough. I was able to detail. So I took last weekend off, and I'm taking next weekend off, and so was able to plan for a vehicle, get it in. My cousin just bought a F-250, 2019 F-250, crew cab, diesel, short box. He just picked it up from Mannheim, and one of our other uncles basically hooked him up, bought it through the auction. They shipped it, bought it, and found it in Texas, shipped it to Salt Lake, and then they drove to Salt Lake and picked it up. And so he was like, it's my new truck, like, but it doesn't feel or look like a new truck. It was a fleet vehicle for an Oklahoma district of some sort. I don't know exactly what it was, but according to what was ghosted still in the fenders. But this truck was black with a very, very filthy interior. A lot of mud in the carpets. He'd been running, he's like, I ran it through the car wash a couple times for you just to clean it off. And I was like, well, that's great. It's awesome. Looks like it too. That's all right.
No.
So basically what I did with him was I just did a quick Uno on the outside, one-step polish with Bead Maker on it for him, just to shine it up, because he's planning on running through the car wash. He had already bought a new car wash pass and
nice.
everything, so he was very excited about that. He's like, well, I got the car wash pass, so I'll be able to keep it clean. I said, then here's what we're going to do for you. This Uno and Bead Maker then.
Yeah.
Inside, though, was very... Seats were bad. The carpets were bad. A lot of mud. But the door panels, like, it looked like someone at the auction had gone through it, but they just didn't extract the seats, or they didn't know how to extract the seats or clean it. So I just did a dry extraction in the sense that it was carpet bomber and actually using Terminator. So Terminated everything, sprayed that down, and then carpet bomber everything, and then I scrubbed everything on of the upholstery and the carpets, and then used O&R as my wetting agent, basically. Sprayed that over everything after it had already been scrubbed again, and then just took a microfiber towel and wiped everything down and let it sit overnight, and then vacuumed the carpets. Came back the next morning, just lightly hit everything with a mist of finisher, and scrubbed again, wiped again. Everything came out.
Yeah.
He was dumbfounded when he came and picked it up on Sunday. He was like, I can't believe how clean these seats look, how good the seats look, how nice everything came out. I said, there's still a ton of mud. Like, I was spraying the doors, and the worry I have is that this truck was on its side in a flood. That's how it felt, because the driver's side was much more muddier than the passenger side. There was more mud in the doors, like in the door itself, than anywhere else in the car. So I think it feels like that truck was on its side or something.
What color was the mud?
It was Texas or Oklahoma
Red?
Red, yeah.
Yes.
Orangey red. It
That's
was,
great. Yeah, I love
so
those
very
trucks.
clay-like.
I don't miss those.
And so blew out a lot of that. I mean, I was to the point I rolled the window down at one point and was running water in the door just
Well,
because it was weeping.
lot A lot of those trucks are coming out of the fracking industry.
Yeah.
So it'll be a short-term, lease or something like that, and
Sounds like
Man,
an oil
they-
field rig.
Yeah, that's what I
they,
think.
sounds
they get nasty.
Yeah. It was pretty rough, but all in all, cleaned up really good. So the fact that it had been detailed previously, probably for auction, was a godsend. And then the fact that he'd run it through the car wash for the last month that he's been owning it helped actually a lot, because just getting a lot of the heavier, there wasn't any mud in the inner fender wells, there wasn't any mud up on the frame rails, which was nice. So a lot of that had been washed away, but it was just what was caked inside the door itself, which was surprising to me. So, and then what was in the carpet. But all in all, cleaned it up, looked great, had no problems. Me and the kids went magnet fishing.
No, you did not.
Yeah, we took the kids magnet fishing. I sent you guys the
I know.
links
I got to order mine.
to get your magnets. We also went down to Fred Meyer's, picked up a green bucket to match the green rope and all the green
Yeah,
stuff.
because
Okay,
whatever
you
you
guys
pick
gotta
up, you got to
explain.
you're
So-
taking
We're
it
lost.
out. You can't put it back
Yeah,
in.
we're
Right.
Magnet fishing.
So,
yeah.
so here's the deal.
Fishing for metal in the bottom of the lake.
It's literally fishing for metal in the bottom of a lake.
yeah.
So you take a magnet, and the magnet that we bought to start with is 600 pounds of pull string.
Oh,
So what we did was we took this magnet and just hucked it into the Boise River. It's attached to about 100 feet of rope, and then you just throw it in the river, and then bring it back in. Now, where we went was we went over behind over by our house, over behind Park Center Bridge, or not Park Center, second Park Center Bridge, over
Yeah.
into Harris Ranch. So we went under that bridge there, right behind Bound Crossing. The problem, I think, with the Boise River, it's very clean, especially because they dredge it before float season. So there's not a lot that gets caught. So I need to go north of Barber or south of Ann Morrison to
Yeah.
really get into some stuff. So, but we went just to get the hang of it, play with the kids, and do that.
did you find anything?
So here's what we did. Didn't find anything in the river. We skipped some rocks and threw the magnet in. Then we walked, there's a pond right behind, in Bound Crossing, right there behind Lakewood, Wood Duck and all that area. So there's this pond. They have ducks and swans and geese that float around in there. So Augie was like, let's go right here. I think this is the spot. I said, all right. Threw the magnet in a couple times, didn't see anything. All of a sudden, Augie climbs up, leans over a bridge, which scared the crap out of me. I ran up and got him, pulled him back. He's like, there's something down there. So I throw the magnet in there, pull up a signpost, a straight up street signpost.
street sign.
We pulled the whole thing out of the water. It was super slimy and gross and about 8 feet long, a square stock steel. But pulled it out. I didn't have anything to carry because we brought the little car with us. So we left it on the side. I just put it on the side of the
Here you go.
thing and said, hopefully the Parks Department sees it. But pulled that out. So they were pretty stoked. Augie was really bummed we weren't bringing it home. He was like, that's like, we could cut it up. We could have 5 pieces of steel. That means we found 5 things. And I said, well, okay. We
city
found one
doesn't
thing,
like
but all
you
right.
doing
Like the way your brain works. But he's all about, one thing he does is he collects tin cans or aluminum cans. And so we have a can crusher. We drink, Lord knows, we drink a lot of soda at our house. So bought a can crusher, got a bag. Kids smash the cans. Once Augie gets about 4 bags, then he takes it to Pacific Recycling and gets about $5. So when I told him that magnet fishing, any of the steel we find, we can take to the scrap yard and sell it, that was even more like, what's the price of scrap? How much does that cost? How much do you think he was very bummed that we were leaving it behind, because to him that was money we were leaving on
That's
the
a
table.
$5 sign right
It's
there.
literally what he was thinking.
You're like, the gas is going to cost us $5 to get down
It
there.
is. Well, because I got to put it in the back of the Suburban. The Suburban's got an
you know what the
8.7
heck,
gallon
tell the
cost,
trailer
right?
driver.
Well, that was the reason we're going to do it, but I got the forge attached to the trailer right now. So
Tell him Uncle Renny's got a cordless sawzall, and this town's filled with signs, and we'll just tie the magnet to the back of the car, start collecting
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
In the latest news, there's been a new sign missing issue, right?
Yeah, if I tell
People
him,
are cutting down
no,
signs.
if he knew how much that probably would have gotten him,
Yeah.
I don't doubt he would be looking in my toolkits to try and find stuff to go cut down street signs.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't put it past him. That's the kind of boy he is. So, but it was fun. So we were able to do that, get that knocked out, and he's already trying to figure out where he wants to go. And then we went to Craven's, the candy store, afterwards. So they were both very excited about that. I think they were more excited about the Cravens, because when I said, all right, let's go to Craven's, they were like, wow, and they both like
Well,
They
that
were trying to
explains
run to
the
the store.
that explains the weight thing a little bit. You know, I mean,
Yeah, so I did good. I didn't grab anything, so I was pretty proud of myself.
it's all carbless and sugarless.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
That's how that works.
but what'd you do, Anthony?
Oh man, so I think Friday night, I can't remember what the heck I did. I think it was just relaxed. Oh, I went to the gym actually. Believe it or not, I can't believe it. Went
You
there.
did?
Yeah, I made it like 30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, that's not-
that gym I go to. Right, this is the worst part about it. Low ceilings, right? I want to say probably
Yeah, well,
maybe 10-foot
You
ceilings
like tossing
inside there.
kettlebells up as high as you can.
Well, what happens is you have all these guys and all these people in there breathing, and it's so cold outside. There's not good ventilation inside that place, so it's humid, right? So when you open the door, all of the doors are wet inside, and all the equipment gets condensation on it.
Is this like a speakeasy gym that you go to? Or
What's that? It's
kind of
no, I
gym
go to
It's a gym in
Idaho
a strip
Fitness
mall.
Factory,
Sounds
right?
like it's a guy's place.
It's basically, but so it's just when you're there, you start grabbing things that are metal, and you start like feeling like how
Yeah.
wet it
Fingers
is,
just
and
immediately
you're just
slip.
really, it just kind of grossed out because I'm like, this is people's essentially their breath that I'm feeling on this stuff
Yeah.
in a condensated version.
Boy, that makes me feel like going to that gym.
yeah, it's
COVID safe. Sounds
Yeah.
great.
yeah, pretty gross. And so, anyways, but Saturday morning I woke up early because I had to go train my buddy Steve. He actually runs like a PPF and
Wrap
window
shop, a
tint
tint
wrap
shop.
shop, right?
Yeah.
And he wants to start offering some really easy coatings to do, right? And so he said I want to learn how to do a wheel coating. So I showed him how to do some wheels, and we kind of hung out there for a little bit. And then he had a job that he wanted me to do, so I booked a Dr. Color chip job for next weekend,
Nice.
right? And those are something where I'm always kind of like excited to do because it's a big return on something that doesn't take that much time if
Yeah.
you know how to do it. But he was like, yeah, no, it's good, but it's a GTR, and I'm like, oh, wonderful, right? And it's a new GTR, and I just freaking hate. I just hate those cars. I never have good luck with those cars and anything paint wise at all whatsoever. So I got that going next weekend. But me and him got on the topic of wings. Did I tell you guys my new wing recipe yet?
No, you told us that you were working, like last weekend,
Yeah.
you actually worked on your own test kitchen.
Yeah.
Developing your wing recipe.
So there has been future developments within
Okay.
that, right?
All right.
And so obviously, basically what we lack here in town, right? Because in terms of my top 3 favorite food groups, right? Gummies, steel gummies preferably that have been sitting out for a long period of time, open.
Like Haribo.
like
He's a
really,
monster. I
like
don't
Gummy
really,
bears.
like really
gummy
hard,
bears, gummy
like-
worms.
And I
He
like
likes some
this.
gummy, but he
that whole
doesn't like
thing
them
is starting to make a
gummy.
whole lot
Let me
more
see your arm.
sense.
Do you have a pulse?
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah,
it's
you're
there.
alive.
It's there. But so like steel gummies, perfect, right? Wings, absolutely like a
Chicken
top
wings,
3
yeah.
favorite food group. And I'd probably say like the third thing would be something in line with like beef jerky or something like that, right? So, but like with wings,
Those
right?
are his snacks. When we're on the road,
Yeah.
Anthony gets on the plane, he has usually 6 different types of gummy candy that have been he's bought
I pre-dry them
pre-opened
out.
them and pre-dried them out.
Yeah, and it's
for
great.
for the flight.
You could live without a
And-
full meal for a long
and
time.
jerky in his bag, and then whenever we stop somewhere to eat, it's preferably
So,
someplace.
and what I
with
do
all snacks.
between trips is I'll buy a bag of gummies at the airport as we're leaving,
Yep.
crack it open, leave it in my bag for the following trip. That trip could be 2 months later, and they're ready to go.
So where
Right.
everybody else
Pre-seasoned
would be
gummies.
horribly
Dry-aged.
disappointed, oh no, I left that open.
So
You're
help me
excited
understand
about
this.
it.
6 kinds of gummy. How many kinds of gummies are there? Because I'm not
Oh
an
my
aficionado.
Oh,
so-
there's a lot.
Oh, there's a
Help me
lot
out.
of
Oh
gummies.
Oh my
Huge.
God, I don't
take
even
you down
my
to
kid.
Craig's candy
I don't
store,
even
you
know
could
where to
see
start,
all
right?
the different gummy things. They
So-
have gummy fried eggs.
Unreal.
They have gummy.
I thought I
sharks.
knew what gummies were, right? And then I went to that trip to Germany, right?
Yeah.
And then my mind
For
was
the
just
land of the.
Oh, no.
of the
Yeah.
my
gummy
mind was
candies
blown. I couldn't believe it, and I was seeing
They've got
things-
whole storefronts. Like
it's-
you go in there and it's like a whole display of just different gummies.
They'll make a gummy out of anything.
Never
like,
really
quite
been a
literally
gummy guy.
anything.
Yeah, I haven't
guess
either.
that-
And they've got
I knew
some
there were gummy
flavors you
bears and
probably
gummy
don't want to
worms.
know
That's
about.
as
Yeah,
far as I
yeah,
went.
yeah.
Very
So
narrow field.
My question is for you is have you checked the bag from MTE last year?
the bag from
Since that would have
MP.
technically been the last time you traveled.
So I have not. So there is
Summit, yeah.
a bag that I have. It's only one of our SEMA bags I think that I have
Is
that
it
I
open?
have
Serum
not.
Summit was our last
oh,
trip.
Serum
Yeah.
Summit. Okay, right.
So that's got to be a good bag.
Yeah.
It's got to be pretty much ready to go at this point. So I'll dive into it soon. But
So you don't have an ant problem or anything?
no.
I'm trying
Ants
to
aren't
go
attracted
through
to
this, and I'm
gummies.
like,
I think it's that coating on the
Well, he doesn't
outside,
get
you
the
know.
organic ones.
Yeah.
It's the ones with preservatives.
Yeah.
and Red
Full
number
of
7.
preservatives.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, a
but
lot of that,
makes
right? Carnauba wax, a lot of carnauba wax
carnauba
inside the
wax,
Hey, a
gummies.
little bead maker on them will make you feel
You're
a
just
lot
keeping the
better.
interior
Yeah.
protected.
It's fine, just keep it going. But anyway, back to the wings, right?
Yeah.
So there's been future progression. I played around with some more. Basically, I go down to the store and I get party wings. My reason for this is that there is a serious lack of quality wings here in Boise, right? There's nothing good. You have your top two, which is Buffalo Wild Wings, obviously gone down the garbage in the last 10 years, right? Not as good as they used to be. And the genetically modified portion of their wings is starting to get kind of just questionable, right? When I pull out a wing the size of my fist, right, I think
Maybe
that-
altered.
Maybe altered, right? Then Wingstop, right? I talked about this. Wingstop, the quality of wings is better, right? The cost is horrible, right? And the overall taste is okay. But their fries are fantastic.
Remind the listeners as well as our guests, best wings you've ever had in your life.
Best wings I've ever had in my life were at the Partition Bar in Socrates, New York. Yeah, Socrates.
An
Yeah.
amazing.
Fantastic. Basically, yeah.
Basically our
can't-
favorite place in the world.
Amazing. So Vanessa and I have been on the search to create my own wings, right? So I got my air fryer, right? Looking to do the more healthy way of doing this. I go down to the store, get my party wings. I think I can get like 12 party wings for like all of $3, right? Which is, typically charged $1 a wing. So from there, air fry this bad boy, flip it, air fry the back, air fry the top.
Stale gummy technique.
Wow.
Travis Rook.
Thank God. Yes, yeah.
There's another freak in the world. Yeah, thanks, Travis.
Well, there's,
Yeah, hey,
you know,
good to
there's
see
a
you, bud.
fetish for everything,
yeah,
right? So
Jessica, yeah, we just they were just a training, and that explains a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, back to my thing. So after you air fry up the wings, get them nice and crispy, right?
Yeah.
So what I've been doing for my sauce, pretty generic buffalo sauce, buffalo base, right, is what I use. I use a small bit of olive oil. I use a tablespoon of melted like margarine, some butter. I do a little bit of garlic powder, a pinch of cayenne, a pinch of red pepper, right? Mix all that in there, right? And then the cherry on top. Splash of pickle juice, basically to add some acidity without adding the pickle flavor, right?
Okay,
Because I'm looking for more of that vinegar taste, right?
I like
Mix
it.
that together, whisk it, toss my wings in there. I have a metal bowl for tossing,
nice
like
big,
an actual, I toss those things for 30 seconds, right? And at that point, I did 2 different things this weekend. At that point, you can eat the wings, sauce on it, everything good to go, or put it back into the air fryer, bake in the sauce into the wing to make it less messy, right? And then they have a buffalo wing dry seasoning that you can sprinkle on top of the wing at the end. Adds a little bit more crispness to it and a little bit more flavor. So your initial bite into your tongue, you get flavor there. And then once you start chewing through the buffalo that's baked in, it takes it to the next level.
Are
Hey,
they
I
spicy?
think on the next visit,
You didn't
Yeah,
make
you
we have to have a taste
cater
off.
this thing.
No, I would like to.
I think
'cause
we make a
there is
video
a
on
serious
Anthony
lack
cooking.
of wings. So I got into this entire idea. I'm like,
We're
I
here
could,
tomorrow.
I could start delivering
look it
these.
up.
I could start selling these within my neighborhood, right?
like
Start a whole wing business out of my garage.
Tony's Wings.
right? Tony's Wings. I'll have like 10 air fryers going. My electricity bill is going to be through the roof, right? And what's going to be great, they just walk up to the garage. I open it up, and they're like, "This isn't COVID friendly."
And
You
it's
have
a
air
Ziploc
fryers
bag
right next to
that you're-
weed eaters and things
Yeah.
like that. I'm like, it's totally fine.
Gas
We're wearing
violation.
gloves
Health
and masks.
violation.
It's okay. So I want to get these wings out there. This wing recipe, right? Started off. See how it
I think you need to
fares
post it on the podcast discussion group page.
in the Buffalo realm. So, but made progression on there. Another news. I didn't talk about this last week, but me and Katie, we bought out our 4Runner lease.
Yes.
So we had their 4Runner. We leased it. It was a perfect deal. It worked out fantastic. And so we leased it for like 2 years. Basically, payments towards the lease, and then we chose just to buy it out. And we didn't lose a dime. If anything, we gained we gained money on it. We gained value.
Basically drove it
and
for free.
Drove it for free. I would say, I wouldn't say we gained, but we drove it for free all this time. And so we bought that out. So now I own it, which is nice. But now I'm trying not to get too crazy because I'm starting to
Well, now
look.
you own it.
Well, because now I'm like, oh, there's a ding there, a ding there, and a ding there. Her ignition where she puts in her key. She's hit everywhere but the ignition, right? She basically, it is literally.
It's all her fault.
I'm like, how are you that bad at?
It's like ancient cave paintings going on near the.
Dude, it's rough. And so that, and then what she does, it's that the trim pieces on like these Toyotas, it's that kind of not chromish color. It's a silver. It's like a silver paint.
Yeah.
And it's a really cheap silver paint.
Yeah.
She throws her keys, everything on the middle of that console there. So whenever she throws her stuff there, right, it is just wrecked.
That's a good one.
And I'm like, I got to replace that trim piece. I got to do this because now we own it. Now I feel like I have to put a little bit more time and effort into it. At the same time, I'm also thinking it's just going to get worse. So do I try to save it or just let it
Can
go?
you wrap it?
I wish.
So
The center console piece, I could wrap that. Yeah,
I will say
I don't think it'll save
it's
the
as
rest
good
of
as
it.
it's as good and as nice as it's ever going to be until you have children.
Correct.
And then
Yeah.
all bets are off at that point.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
whatever you need to do now to make yourself feel better, amplify that by 10 because like
You own it.
I haven't cleaned out Carly's car in like a month, maybe 6 weeks.
Oh.
And when I washed it yesterday, it was speechless. It's amazing the stuff. Like she doesn't do too bad. It's the stuff the kids in the back seat
Chaos,
just do.
Yeah.
So many
Zero
rotten apple
regard
cores.
for
I mean, it's just like
Anything.
It's like a dumpster.
yeah, and it's like and you try to
Not
tell them, but they
Sydney's.
don't do it. They
Oh
don't
no,
do it.
you tell them they're
Yeah.
gonna do it just by accident because it's the first thing on
Yeah.
their mind then. But no,
I'm
they're
real
gonna
fortunate,
follow.
man. Diane's just as picky as I am, but she does like to stack stuff.
Yeah.
I had a young guy last week at training. He goes, "Hey, man, you and Diane seem to be really close. What's the bond?" I said, "Just go crash your car. You got something to talk about."
So and I'd say my wife's ability to make things fit in that vehicle is haunting. It basically, when I open up that back seat and I see everything that's in there, I'm like, is this not driving you crazy as you drive around a corner and everything is shifting in the car? She's like, no, I don't even really hear it back there at all, right? And, I don't really even notice it. I'm like, well, how do you not notice it? She's like, well, I'm playing my music. I'm like, so she just turns it up.
You realize? Does she watch this?
Sometimes, yeah, she could be watching this right now.
Just
and she
asking.
is.
Well,
Yeah.
come on. When you were poor and you couldn't afford a very good car, you overcame the rattles and the wind
did,
noise
yeah.
and all that. You just turned the radio up, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably what she's doing.
Yeah, something like that. So
That's what I did for a long time.
and then from there, I mean, I wouldn't say there was anything too exciting. I watched this movie. It's called Freaky. It was like a spin-off. It's like a Freaky Friday kind of thing, but it's got like Vince Vaughn in it. It's a scary movie. It's like a murder. It's like a high school murder movie, if that's a category.
Yeah.
Not bad. I was entertained. For about 2 hours,
Like
I
a
was
high
thinking.
school murder horror movie.
So not quite
Yeah,
for adults,
okay.
not quite for kids, somewhere in the middle.
But kind of like but the premise is like Freaky Friday where they
Yeah,
like
they
the
switch
mom and daughter
bodies.
switch,
Yeah,
but the
so
girl
she basically,
switches
the
with
high
a
school
serial
girl
killer.
switches bodies with a killer. That's pretty much what it was, right? But Vince Vaughn is pretty funny in it, and I haven't seen the movie with him in it for quite some time. So
And now it's been spoiled. You're welcome.
basically, it's like if you have nothing to do and you're bored out of your mind, and maybe your internet's not working, and you want to go down to a Redbox to pick up a DVD, wouldn't be a bad option.
Okay.
So, and then all yesterday, actually, just me and Katie hung out, did a bunch of errands, ran around to the store, Lowe's, Target, made our runs around. Not particularly fun. Yeah, my favorite is when she says, "Hey, it's just super quick. We're gonna be in and out, right?" Well, the dollar section at Target. Let's just stop here really quick. I'm thinking, okay, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here.
I can't believe you
And
fell for that.
I did, and then she goes around. I say, well, can I go look at some things I want to look at? She's like, well, don't leave me by myself. She's like, we can go over there. We'll get to that section eventually. It takes an hour, right? We're in my section for like all of 2 minutes, and she's like, I'm hungry, ready to get out of here. I'm like, what the heck, man?
Yeah, right?
So, but it was a good day. Went out to dinner last night. Went out to Bardonnay. Got a little bit of food, hung out, and then that was it. And then I spent the rest of my evening in the simulator, in the racing simulator. I don't know if you guys know
yes.
that. I have a racing simulator now, right? Full seat, shifter, pedals,
heck
all that,
yeah.
right? The game is so accurate that you have to use a clutch in it and everything basically it prepares me for real world racing is what
Yeah,
it is.
well, like I said, amateur racing.
So I get out there after I'm done driving around. I get out there in my little Honda Civic, and I'm thinking, I'm ready to take the
You are.
apex now.
Turn it up.
Time everything out. So that
Oh,
was
there's
it.
a car that would be fun to do that in right here.
Yeah.
I think. Hey, Mike.
Are you talking about
Mike's
the
not
one-
going to know what we do to his car.
Are you talking about the
so-
one that's in pieces or the
Yeah.
one that's together?
We got a
Both.
couple.
Probably
did say
both,
he
but I
was
think
gonna
the
stop by
one
and
that's
check on
together
us.
might be.
Oh, make sure we don't
So,
hurt that.
Surprise!
So we have to be
Well, he'll
careful.
be real surprised when it's at Dodge getting an oil change because we, torched it.
Well, so that's a fun thing. We have this lift, right?
Yeah.
So many options available to us to be able to work on cars and do things and whatnot, right? We have the lift. We have people with a little bit of experience.
Yeah.
We have a significant lack of tools is what we have.
We're slowly building them up.
So, like, if
Till we
people
figure out we
knew
don't
what
have
we
one.
had, we were like, hey, do you have that screwdriver here? And we pull out this giant Phillips. I don't even know what size it is. I'm like, no, like a smaller one. That's all we got, man.
That's all we got. Sorry. Gotta make it work.
This won't work. So we're trying to collect our tools slowly but surely. But I mean, there's some companies out there that make some really good quality things. We just have to make sure it's in the budget.
This
right?
isn't a
You know,
mechanic shop.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Milwaukee Tools are just a fantastic tool brand, and that I really like using. But I mean, you know, whatever.
It'd be nice, really nice, if we had a bunch of
I
Milwaukees.
think I know a guy in the tool business that you guys probably know that might be able to help you.
Oh, really?
You know, even if we had maybe some skill stuff or some ego stuff, that could also work
some
out
skill
really well.
stuff might be
We have a
useful.
skill drill.
Oh man, that ego! You guys have got the blower.
We've
That
got
ego
the ego.
blows.
Yeah, those things.
Man,
are
that
pretty
thing's
cool.
killer. And then have you guys used the generator pack, the Nexus?
No.
No. 3
I
polishers.
don't think we have one of
3
those.
polishers, silent. 3 polishers all day long off of 1 charge.
Really?
It's a silent
That's
generator.
great.
How many phones will that charge?
A lot.
Unlimited amount of phones.
Yeah.
Depends on
And
his
then he's
phone.
using it only to charge his phone and
Yeah,
he's sitting under
so
his
he's
desk.
Will it fit in the back of a Ram?
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
great.
pretty rad, though.
No,
Yeah.
but I would say that ego blower, hands down, that thing. So I told people a fun trick that you can do. You can blow snow off your car with that ego blower. It is powerful enough to blow snow off your car. And I was actually talking about that last week. And since then, we've gotten tagged a bunch at the rag
We have,
company, you know, Instagram and everybody else
I
doing
think
it
Ego
and
needs to
saying.
send us one.
Some people were like, I had this. I didn't even know you could do this
Yeah.
with it. This was a thing. And it's, weirdly enough, it is powerful. You have to hit that turbo button, but once you hit that thing,
Well, once you found that button, do you not use it?
no, you always use the button.
Once
There's
you turn the
never a-
button, it's automatic.
There's never a time when you're not using
punch
that
it.
button. So I was like, why didn't you just make it this powerful to begin with,
Well,
so I
they need
didn't
to
have
make
to
it
use
a
it?
switch and not a button, because I
Right,
it's
yeah,
always
you
on
want to
there.
be able to toggle
Yeah.
it. You don't want to have to sit there and hold
Maybe
No,
like
you know what it is?
Click it and like slide it or something like
You
that.
just
right?
duct tape it.
yeah, that's what I was.
It's like a little rocker or something.
Yeah.
The second you put the bat, it's going, right?
it.
That's
Go.
the only way to
Go.
stop. It's just bam,
Just
hold
screaming the whole
on.
time.
Yeah, no, those are pretty killer machines. But so other than that, though, things that we're looking forward to, I guess, you know, here in the upcoming weeks. Do you guys have anything? You guys going to do any more trips or anything?
Wow.
Because you explained that
all
you're going up
sorts of
skiing,
trips.
but anything
So-
business related.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So week after next, so I don't know if you guys know, we talked about it a little bit. P&S expanded its warehouse space, so we grew a little.
Oh.
So that necessitated some rearrangement of the square footage. So we moved our training center. So the new warehouse space has the training center in it. So next Monday, I will be at P&S building the training center.
Nice.
It's pretty cool because it's the only training center that we know of that that you can go. There's actually a production line right
next
around the
to it.
corner.
Yeah, 2 of them actually.
And so you can go and see where bead maker and other products are actually made. So it's kind of cool. And, you know, we grew by, I mean, that's a 10,000 square
10,000
foot,
square feet.
you know. So it's kind of like you guys, you know,
Yeah.
expanding and so forth. And we're mirroring a lot of what's down in my training studio to this one and doing a lot of cool stuff that way. But I think it's kind of cool to be able to look over and take people that are learning about detailing and take them over and show them where the products and how the fill lines work and everything
super
else.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. They can see how I don't want to say see how the sausage is made, but they can get a better
You
understanding.
can see how the fudge is packed.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right.
Carlos
word.
is on. Carlos, hey buddy, I miss you, man. He's a good dude.
Hey, Dirk.
Dirk, what's up, buddy?
As I
How
say,
you
we
doing,
had a
man?
number of comments here. I just didn't want to interrupt anybody who was talking, so I was trying to only pick relevant ones, basically.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah,
any good ones
look
for
at
us,
that.
Dane?
Dirk,
Any
how are ya?
questions? Any questions in there?
There were a few if you want me to go back here and just
Yeah,
double
pop
check.
one up.
Well, I mean, Chris was asking who's that grayed out guy in the picture, but we all know that one.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris.
Let's see, we got Pat here. Renny, do you foresee rinseless car washes getting better down the road?
Oh, I think so. You know, I think this chemistry changes and technique changes and toweling changes and our mentality. We've got some really cool tricks that we've kind of brought into it, and we'll do some videos on them. You know, rinseless. So what I do is, believe it or not, I use Epic waterless as a pre-treat.
Yep. Yeah.
And it creates a slickness to it, and then I go ahead and do my rinseless. But you know, look at how much towels have changed just in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's, you know, Pat, we've been doing rinseless wash on aircraft for 30 years. And it's changed a great deal since then, and it's going to continue to get better and better.
Heck yeah.
And then I've got Jessica here who just wanted to say she loves Sydney's jacket.
Oh, thank you.
Isn't that cool?
Very nice. And then
Hey,
do we
Jessica's
get any of those
awesome. Let me
sweet jackets?
brag about
sure.
her and her husband are great people. They're aviation based, so their services, get this, is economy, business, and first class.
Oh, smart.
Is that
That's
cool?
awesome.
So
That is
Travis,
great, man.
Travis and Jessica, great young people. I love seeing their enthusiasm and their dedication to professionalism. They're just good people.
Nice.
That's rad. Nice.
Then Ricky here wanted to throw a shout out to Keith. Hi guys, happy Monday. Keith, your session during last Thursday's IDA Education Day was invaluable. Thank you.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thanks, guys.
As
And
our super fan of the show, Ricky Cologne. Always
kind
good
of
to
cool
have
this
here.
week,
Ricky.
because just a few days ago I was at the PC Enterprises Training Center, and now I'm here at your training center. So it's kind of cool to make some tours and check
Yeah.
those things out.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
there's a ton of fun stuff that's going on in the industry, not just in product and chemical, but equipment now. So I
Yeah,
think
it's all over the place.
we're going to see the industry take another evolution forward. I really
We're
do
seeing
believe
it.
that.
We're in a big push now again.
And then Alex just wanted to make sure everybody got a hello from him. So
What's up, Alex?
Great
Hey,
guy.
How you doing, buddy?
And then I've got Ricardo here. I'm not sure what this is in reference to. Maybe you guys recall. You guys are having a
I think
conversation.
it's probably about yours.
Oh, okay.
National
Maybe the
Trucker
truck.
Canadian?
Ricardo,
National
what's
Trucker
up?
Canadian.
I don't know.
Oh, the truck that broke?
Oh, the truck.
Oh.
The truck
You
that-
know, actually, it's Canadian.
Oh, okay.
It's Canadian. That's interesting that you got that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a truck. Yeah. There you go.
I have a Canadian truck too.
Yeah.
And
See?
both have
There you
Canadian
go.
trucks.
Hiram
all right.
here saying good morning. And
What?
you saw
Tony.
earlier Dirk Dew saying, hello, Renny, my friend.
Yeah.
And then we had these stale gummy bears.
Yeah.
Mike wanted to say pickle juice is an amazing ingredient for wings. And
See?
Love it.
See?
Detail Dude, I also had him on a little earlier there, just talking about Tony's berries
Anthony's
and wings.
Chernobyl wings and berries. like
Yeah,
every
I'm
single
also
line of
starting
people.
a berries business to put Sherry's berries,
Out of business.
out of business, basically.
How's that
And
going?
so it hasn't started yet, right?
It's laying the groundwork.
We will be kicking off this idea eventually. Basically, I explained that I needed to acquire some dirt from Chernobyl, right? Because I was thinking,
It's how you
I don't
grow
want
these
genetically
things.
modified wings, but I'm okay with strawberries, right? Being a little bit bigger,
Genetically
right?
modified strawberry.
Yeah,
It's how you make
so
'em that big.
We get the Chernobyl dirt, right? We plant these strawberries in the dirt, right? Believe it or not, it will grow, right? Just a little fertilizer, a little miracle grow,
Might
you know,
grow with
it'll
eyes and
fix
wings.
it.
The radiation
So
is
we
the
grow these
fertilizer.
strawberries, we get them to the size of,
At least my fist. That's
at
what we
least a
talked about.
fist size, right? And then from there, we're going to send them to our friend G. Davis. His wife is going to dip these strawberries
Coco's Creations.
and Coco's Creations and do some type of drizzle on them. And we are going to charge far less, right? Because basically, we're going to get into because of the Chernobyl dirt, right? Our margins are going to be significantly better because of the lack of care needed to grow these strawberries.
Well, I was going to say,
right?
it's the weirdest thing. In our
Labor count's
testing
gonna go
phase,
down.
there were no repeat customers, and we were really hoping to have a few,
Yeah.
people coming back, but they just never
And the
did. I
beauty
don't
of
know
these
why.
berries is that once they dry, they actually don't go bad. They just dry. They just dehydrate, like
Ooh,
a
you can eat 'em
dehydrated
later,
strawberry,
too.
so you can save them for later.
They're like a,
you can
it's
throw
like a
them in with your
dingleberry
gummy.
on
So you
steroids.
can, ideally, you can throw them in with the gummies. Yeah, take a bite of strawberry, bite of gummies.
Great.
Where's deduction here? Checking in late. Sorry if it was already asked. What are the odds of getting one of those cool Detail Mafia t-shirts?
Well, the Detail Mafia, to get that, you got to earn it.
Yeah,
and
you know.
they're pretty serious about it. There's about 200 guys that are in, and women. You're one of them. And I say guys, I include you guys.
Yeah.
But it's a very sacred membership, and it's a great group of people. You know, there's a lot of great people in this industry, and the Detail Mafia we keep that logo pretty sacred. You know,
Yep.
Keeping it special.
So
Well-
that's a good opportunity to bring up the one-day extremes next month. That's kind of a stepping
Hey,
stone.
yeah, so that's
Yeah.
kind of
To
on
the
there.
mafia.
So
Yeah, we've got
you're
a
asking about the
national day.
schedule. That's on the 13th of March. We're all
Yeah.
doing different sessions.
We have
and
7 locations.
yeah.
7 now, yeah. So let's run through them. We got Portland, your shop,
Southern
in Big
California.
Bear, Phoenix, San Antonio, right? Mike's going to do his, which is going to be awesome.
New Jersey.
We got New Jersey, Indiana, and of course Justin Lobato down in Florida. So,
Yep, registration's still open for that.
It is. A lot of the centers are sold out.
Yeah, Florida's
Florida's sold out. Southern California is sold out. We're real close to New Jersey being sold out.
we got 3 or 4 spots left in Portland. So come see Sydney and I in Portland. We'll be doing that one.
It's kind of a condensed, because so Mafia, and we appreciate it, we really do.
Yep.
The Mafia, to get in, it's a 5-day training, and it's not just about money. A lot of people say, oh, it's about, because all of us are on the same page.
Yep.
And then it's a 2-year internship in the group, and we don't just push that you know how to detail. We push that you know how to take and run a business and really enjoy a good life, and tie those two in together, because we all know it's really easy to succeed if all you're going to do is work hard.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing to build a life about that and go have a weekend worth living.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Totally
go.
fair. And next, I got Carlos here, just wanting to say hey there.
Carlos,
And
this dude's a good dude, man. South Texas in the house.
Yeah.
oh man, hope you're safe out there. Hope things
Hopefully
are going
there's
well.
snow melted. We
Yeah.
got a few inches down there.
And Kirby Thompson here. Sorry late to the event, just off the bicycle. 33 miles today. Wow.
Awesome.
Not
Cool
messing
for
around.
you.
Kirby's a beast.
Show us up.
Yeah.
man.
So, Dane, you didn't tell us about your weekend.
Oh,
and
whoa,
you did quite a bit this weekend.
Oh, by my
according to
standards.
our group text. Pretty impressive. all in
Yeah,
all.
I guess I did do some things. Long story short, like cutting out all the uninteresting stuff, I just
Well,
decided.
can I set the stage?
Well, for
I
sure.
set the stage.
Yeah.
So once
You
upon
said
a time, right, Dane, right, explained in a podcast, right?
explains.
Dane explained in a podcast, and it wasn't very specific at all. It was kind of just in passing. He mentioned that there is a room within his home that he stores old mail in, right?
First, it was
And
stored boxes.
It was stored boxes.
It was like a
and then-
storage closet that just started to grow, because previously, before I was in relationships or anything, when I had the house and I was just single, I'd have roommates, and it was an extra bedroom. So it was easy to just, okay, I can make a few bucks by having a roommate. But then, of course, you wind up like, okay, we're dating long term. Yeah, don't want roommates in the house anymore. Just kind of clear house. Anthony manages to do it to this day, which I'm impressed
fun.
by.
It's a
But
good
it's because
time.
you know the guy really well, and
It's always fun.
Yeah, you trust him, so it's cool.
many bedrooms in my house.
But yeah,
so.
your luxurious
too
palatial
many than I
estate.
need. Yeah.
But in the case of mine, like I'm living in like 12 to 1400 square feet, depending on if you want to include the garage or not. But it's a little tight, perfect for 2 people. But anyway, there's a room, and it was dubbed the mail room by
Yep, Dane's
our
mail room.
listeners, because you guys latched on to the fact that I had a habit of, oh no, I don't have a shredder. And I didn't just go out and get a shredder. I just kept the mail where I'm like, oh, there's like a lot of personal information on these. I don't want to throw it out in my trash
Put it
because
in this
people think
room.
through trash, whatever.
Save the room
like
for.
in my neighborhood, it's not really a
Filing
problem,
cabinet.
but I know it's a thing. And a weird, like low-level paranoia just told me, don't throw that out. Don't throw that out. And of course, you have like piles of like insurance papers and all this crap that you don't really want.
So
Piles.
setting the stage.
But I kept them in bags.
Setting the stage. Dane had a room that was starting to bother him.
Oh yeah,
It got
yeah.
to a point it was uncontrollable. So he went out, got himself a
Overflowing
shredder,
mail.
went through, demoed all that mail in the shredder,
Yeah.
got rid of all the boxes, started cleaning out some of the stuff, cleaning out the garage, taking it to a storage facility,
Yep.
storing some of his items and trinkets and things, created a clean slate for that room.
Yeah,
Then
that carpet needed to go.
replaced the carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what did you put down? Because I saw some pictures. What were you putting down there?
Well, so on the carpet, I just ended up getting a remnant from a local place, and he's
cool.
got some pictures of
Yeah.
There
what
we
I
go.
ended up doing, which was I replaced the
Got the
carpet, which
carpet
was this
replaced.
kind of stale old burlap sack colored thing. It was not pretty at all, and it had been the original carpet when the house was built in '92, so it could use an update. So I got it this kind of like gray, more neutral toned.
Nice carpet.
But it has some warmth in it, even though the pictures don't necessarily show it. It has a little warmth, and I just love the texture of it. But it was remnant from a very expensive carpet, but for a remnant, it's cheap because they're not going to be able to use it for anybody's
Right.
house or
Yeah.
anything. So you just pick up a roll that's like, 12 by 12 or whatever, and then a guy comes, cuts it to fit. The whole thing all together, the
Put a nice-
installation and the
nice
carpet
mat
itself,
underneath there.
cost me $300.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the
Screaming
guy
deal.
who installed it cost as much as the carpet did. So I was like, okay, done. And it's just such a better experience. Got the best pad under it. But what I did was now that I had this clean slate, from previous roommates, I'd never fixed the walls, like the little holes from installing a TV mount or other stuff. It's just kind of So I looked online for like acoustic tiles because, you know, back when we did our podcast room, I like the idea of like having foam on the walls. It can look a little tacky if you don't do it right, and it's like that's why I'm kind of experimenting with it. But I wanted, this is going to be my office, I wanted to make it like a sound treated space, not soundproof, but just I didn't want to have a bunch of reverb in there. So I bought a bunch of bass traps, which are those things that go in the corners, and they have kind of a step pattern to them. They got a triangle corner. They just kind of fit right in. That's a vertical strip. But then I also got panels because Anthony was kind enough to give me some extras he had that he just didn't end up wanting. And I was like, all right, maybe I can put them to use. And then I bought these textured tiles, which are these brick-looking things, off of Amazon. After looking around, I found this kind of faux brick. Not
That
cheap,
looks really
but
good.
the 6-packs, there's 2 6-packs on that wall. The top part I had to trim with scissors. It's funny, you feel them, they feel like egg crates, so you're like, doesn't feel quality, but when you get them up, they look really good. And even in
looks
person,
really
they
cool.
look really good, and I was really happy with that. But I wanted that cool contrast of like, bright, you know, plain looking white wall, and then have these cool pictures that I got from this place called Ricardo Fine Art, and he does like these really poppin', you know, super cool kind of flat art style car pictures, and I had Lancia Stratos and you know, rally car and stuff.
So
I thought it
Dane's
was super cool.
This is Dane's office now. So
Yeah,
Dane's
I'm trying
mailroom
to
has
class
now
up the joint,
transitioned
and it doesn't look like
to
anywhere
Dane's
else in my
office.
house. So I was trying to make something that felt kind of unique, kind of me, and you know, I thought I had some character. And then the Sputnik lamp, everybody likes those crazy
love
modern
that.
things.
Yeah,
They
those
just look
things are
cool.
great. Those
It's an
vintage
industrial touch.
And
So
he's also got a rig, sim rig, that he's going to be setting up, installing as well with the
Yeah.
television on the wall.
So I'm going to put a TV that I have left over from my old living room. Now I have a bigger TV. I move that TV out. It's going to go on the wall on the left. So where you saw those pictures is a blank wall on the left. And I'm going to put foam behind that. So it's going to be a big panel wall. And then I'm going to set up my little racing sim rig like I have with Anthony there. He's also got the same one where it's like this folding chair, but it's got you got the brakes, you got the clutch, you got the gas, you got the steering wheel, shifter, all that stuff. And I'm just going to set it down, but I put the pictures up high so they wouldn't block the line of sight if I set down that chair. So like I could be on a conference call and I could have a super cool looking background. That's what
you gotta
I
set
want.
me
I
up
want to
with
have
this.
that set up the next time I
Yeah,
got to work from
it's
home. I'm
a-
I
ready.
need to get with
riot.
you on the
It's a good
tiles because
time.
I'm doing my office at my house, a stone stud formation in the basement.
Yeah. No,
I wanna
they
get
are
some
awesome.
tiles like
I
that.
love
That
them.
sounds
They
like
were
a heck of an idea. So that'd be
they
cool.
were about $70 for a 6-pack. So that was 2 6-packs on that wall.
Yeah, and the biggest
That's
reason
pretty
for
cheap.
doing that
That's
is,
not
you know,
bad,
Yeah,
yeah.
for how
we've all been
nice
in
they
these
look.
video calls now.
Yeah.
That's been this last year. Everybody had to figure out, one, how to do virtual stuff,
Yeah.
but then how to find the right space to do a video call where you're not echoing.
Yeah, I'm trying
Sound
to
like
get
you're
rid of
in
that
an echo
reverb,
chamber.
and I got a standing desk, an adjustable height desk. It's electric, push
Love
button.
that.
And it's
Plus, like
oh,
you said,
sweet.
a cool background, you know, 'cause
Yeah.
you either go with a virtual background, it makes
Right.
it look like you're in the South Seas.
And that's
somewhere
normally
or
what I
whatever,
do, but
or you
this
got
gives
kind
me
of
a chance
The
to
general officey background.
do a real
So that's
one.
cool, man. That
Yeah,
looks awesome.
so I was just really excited by that, and I committed to it. I kept putting it off weekend after weekend. I'm like, you know what, fine, I'm gonna do it.
I will say this, I'm really proud of Dane because you have taken on this project literally from start to finish, and it's taken you about 6 months.
Oh yeah, because
8
I
months you've been
find
working on this?
all kinds of excuses to do
Yeah.
other things and put it off,
But
but
this was a big project.
There comes a day where you just gotta-
that and then your living room is a whole other story.
yeah.
But this, like, it's pretty awesome.
No, I'm really excited. So I'm
really
going to do
impressed.
that whole ceiling with the black foam too. So the whole thing's going to be it'll look really different when it's done. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, that's basically the gist of what I'm going for there. And I just thought it'd be fun to share.
Nice.
Heck yeah,
But,
dude.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
good.
well, Nick's screaming in our ear. We got to wrap this up.
Oh,
Dane.
okay. So I did have a few more comments, if you don't mind. I know we got a tight time scale here, but I was just throwing in Redmond, Oregon, checking in.
yeah, that's a
Jason.
great question on graphenes. Do we really
Yeah.
want to?
You know, so we've done a lot of testing with graphene, and graphene's a great product. We think we have something better.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on from there.
All right.
Rather than guessing.
Lex, our good friend Lex.
Lex Garage.
Bead maker
Thanks,
and Louis
Lex.
Nectar. Had to let you know.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
And then he had a question.
How long after bead makers applied before it's okay to throw on a car cover to avoid interfering with the curing process?
You know, I'd say a couple hours. It's not like I mean, believe it or not, Bead Maker does have SiO2 in it. but we don't
It's
like
a
to.
little bitty amount.
Yeah, it's not a
It's
ton.
not enough to warrant calling it that.
No, yeah. And with truth in advertising, there's a lot of manufacturers out there that have even got less that are saying it. We
Yeah.
just don't feel comfortable with it. So with that said, Lex, it's hard enough in a couple hours you could do that.
Okay, and this is one I wanted to bring up just because it relates back to good old Socrates, New York. Robin says they're only 30 minutes from there. Gonna have to try the wigs. Yes, please tell them your
Yes,
friends from
Robin,
the rag
you
company
need
sent
to
you.
go
They
there.
haven't been there in like
She
2
just tried
years,
you, yeah.
but it's
Robin.
still
But
in their
Robin, just
minds
so you
today.
know, they're closed in the winter.
Are
Oh,
they?
They
This
only
is-
open spring, summer, and a
Hey,
bit
let
of
me
fall.
let me
so-
tell you, Robin is another stud.
Yep.
Boys, good luck with those two. They will kick your butt. Robin, hi, good to
Did
see
you know that Robin is our Q1 2021 Grand Ambassador? She's
Yes.
awesome, man.
Badass.
No, she's awesome.
She's
She
just-
kicks butt. It was the
Next time we go East Coast, we're gonna have to have
Yep,
Robin
and
join
Chatham,
us.
New York.
and the cutest dogs too. All those. Do you ever see her pictures with her dog at the
yeah.
shop? Oh, I love those. They're
Well, I mean,
amazing.
Well, the detail lab.
Yeah, the detail
It's
lab.
literally the detail lab. Yeah, no, she's awesome.
All right, I'm getting the music, so I apologize to anybody who had questions left there, but I got to take the cues. I know we got a really busy day ahead. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you're somewhere in the future, leave a comment below. You can ask your questions there, and I'm sure these guys will pop in and they can leave responses there to you as well. So thank you again, and as always, subscribe to the Rag Company YouTube channel as well as our 2 other channels, and leave a review. Wherever you listen to the podcast at, leave a review, and that helps us get in front of more people, keep spreading the audience, keep spreading the love. So guys, let's all say bye.
All right.
See you guys.
Yeah.